Greetings, it is I, Susie Q. What's happening? What are you doing? What's showing up in your field? What's lighting you up? And what are you illuminating with the miracles in your life, right? And so it's been feeling pretty groovy. I've been very, very busy. And I've noticed that I love it when people give me questions because it's kind of like a pop quiz. I'm like, I don't know, do I have an answer or do I have to make up something? But it's kind of fun when we go in and get questions. And so yesterday I had a really wonderful exchange with a dear friend that was from Houston, where I was from Houston too, and we're both in Arizona. So we had a nice conversation, a very long conversation. And then these are some questions that he asked of me. But I do love answering questions. Sometimes I'm like, what are they really looking at, or what are they wanting to create? So some of these questions, I'm going to put them out to you as well. And then I'll kind of address some of my answers that I might do for my own juicy self, right? Okay, so the first question, this is Russ Johns. He's down there in Houston. Met him back in 2015. And I've got a couple of really great friends from Houston that are, or in Texas that are here in Arizona now too. So it's kind of fun. Okay, so I'm just going to get right to it. So the questions are super groovy and I don't know what I'm going to say. So the first question is, how's the best way to connect with me? And so you might even say for yourself with whatever you're creating, do people know how to find you? Do people know how to find you? Like, do you call them? Do you have an email? Do you have a place to book appointments? So I think for right now, so Russ Johns is redoing some of my website stuff. And so there'll be a place on my website, holistichealingcommunity.com, where you can book an appointment with me. And you can even book maybe a 15-minute, just, free, little conversation. And you can also call me at 832 790-7888, 832-790-7888. So those are ways that you can contact me. You can go on Facebook Messenger. I've got on different social media sites, but you can always reach out. And if you're like, I don't know what to say, just ask a question and I'll probably give you some kind of an answer. It's kind of fun. Or you might want to have a session with me. Okay, so the next question is, what's a surprising outcome that someone has shared with me? What is a surprising outcome that someone has shared with me? And you might even look at it for yourself, whatever kind of business that you're in, or kind of projects that you're doing. You might want to ask them, what was the surprising outcome that someone was able to share to you? So maybe start asking people. I'm always good to do reviews. I love giving reviews for other people, and I love people giving me testimonials, and they're always really neat, to get this information. But that would be something amazing. So let me read it again. What's a surprising outcome that someone has shared with me? Gosh, I've had a whole lot of different things. I had a Akashic reading a couple nights ago, and I think that the surprising outcome was that person was giggling. I mean, totally giggling after our Akashic reading. These readings are done by phone. She's in Houston as well, beautiful divine being. And so she was just giggling. The next day she sent me a short message on Facebook Messenger, and it was just like she's totally energized. She's feeling super energized. So that was the most recent one. But I have tons of testimonials from my QHHT and my Akashic records. Super fun. But I would if you want me to do a review for you, I'll be happy to do that. I think it's so fun when we can, lean into each other and uplift the other person. Okay, so the next question is, what kind of joy do I feel as a result of helping others? What kind of joy? Let me read it again. What kind of joy do I feel as a result of helping others? And then I'll pose it to you. For you that are listening to this, what kind of joy do you feel when you're doing the work that you do? What is the joy? What is that joy? My joy is I just kind of feel like at this point in my life, it's like I just want to be, I don't know, just kind of like a teacher, kind of, or a friend, or a supportive friend, a mystical friend. I feel the joy just from connecting with people. And even when I'm doing the quantum healing hypnosis technique, and also the Akashic records, when I'm working with them on the Akashic records, I pull records for folks that are relevant to now, right? And so I get to have experiences. I think the joy is I get to go to all these different records that aren't mine, but I'm accessing records, and it's fascinating. It's joyful and fascinating, and I kind of feel like a little kid. It's like I want to, sing and dance and run real fast and just tell everybody how fun it is. And even with the QHHT, the persons, when they're in their hypnosis session, they're actually pulling their own records or their own or going into past lives, but I just call them records. But they pick that, and then I get to have just wonderful experiences listening to what their lives have been like. It's been beautiful and wonderful. So you might just kind of look at what joy is bringing to you with the work that you're doing. Maybe you're like, it's not joyful. Well, make up something. Just create something that maybe feels a little bit more joyful. Okay, got another question here. Do I see myself expanding out into other roles? So I'm going to ask you right now. Do you see yourself expanding into other roles, whatever roles, dinner roles? No, just kidding. But I do see myself going back more into business. I was, for myself, I was a broker and did a lot of contracts, a lot of negotiating, and a lot of kind of project management stuff, and management of properties, commercial and residential. So I don't know that I want to get my real estate license up here in Arizona, but I'd like to have something juicy, coming through where I could access that beautiful strategic nature that I have done in my lifetime. It's super fun. So yeah, I can see myself doing this work and more. And so what else can you do when you're looking to expand? Maybe you've got a perfect position you're in or perfect experience, but maybe you can expand on what would it look like. I do like negotiations. I think it's super fun, or even public relations. That would be pretty cool for me. Okay, so the next question is, what kind of results that I can anticipate by this experience? What kind of results that I can anticipate by this experience? I'm not really sure what that means. Well, we could talk about like the QHHT. So with the experiences of the QHHT, let me read this again. What kind of results? Okay, so with the QHHT, when I have people come in, and this is my little space back here. I've got a day bed right there, and then I've got a little office space in here and massage table and all kinds of little gadgets and stuff that we can play with. But I really I like the results are that when I'm having a session with somebody, and it takes a little bit of while for people to kind of lean into the energy, like I'm going to go into hypnosis. What's that about? But I think what's really fascinating for me is I love to see everybody how they approach their willingness to have a unique experience, a unique experience. And when they're even in that hypnotic state, they may just be like, Susie, I'm still here. It's like, it's okay. As long as your eyes are closed, it's good. It's good. You're doing good. So, but it's kind of fun for me to watch an unfoldment of a person moving into a different kind of energy or kind of a juicy spot. It just feels really, really fun. So that's what's been really neat for me when I'm looking at results is just even observing the person while they're on the day bed or just observing what they're saying. I kind of feel like I'm like an angel just kind of hovering, for people and just going, God, you're doing great. Keep going, keep going. All right, the next one is, let's see, what does this say? Okay, I think that may be it for the questions. Clarity, realizations. So he even said, my friend Russ said, when you're looking at anticipating some different results, it could become into clarity. What else? Realizations, calm, perceived future understanding. These are some of the things that he was mentioning. So with whatever you're creating in your beautiful, juicy field, right? I think this year, the 2022 frequencies are going to be pretty profound because it feels like it's going to be very inspiring, very uplifting, very much where people are ready to move into unfoldment. Like kind of skipping over a few things that they used to do and just like going into that state of flow. I think that flow energy is really, really, really fun. And so with these questions that were asked for me, these are really great questions for you to consider. Like, what might you do differently, or what might you pivot with a little bit, or what else will you create, or how will that creation come to be, or what goals and what effective action are you doing to kind of create like a juicy experience, And I think a lot of it is for me is that the idea of assisting another person, and as that happens, they're assisting me. So it's not like I'm the, this one that's got all this knowledge. No, it's like me continually holding space, for another person who comes in for a session, or maybe just ask a question, because what that does is it kind of uplifts my own frequencies as I get more questions from people, that I'm able to access not only my own energies that I work with, but maybe accessing some of that person's energies as well to be of support. And then I learn stuff from that. It's so fun. I'm actually having so much freaking fun up here. And so I think with whatever you're creating and whatever you're desiring to have into your field, you just take some steps. You might ask a few questions of yourself. You might ask a few questions, and through thought, and then maybe through thought, you might get some answers. It's super fun. Anyway, so that's it for today. Have a great day and keep expanding, and looking at those results, that effective action, and see what you can do different. How can you expand, and how can you grow, and how can you just really kind of broadcast what you do? Tell people what you do. Tell them what you do. Okay, love you so much, and namaste.